Yourself to those that are running.
WMNF, Tampa City Council.
Yay, great group.
Thank you very much for coming.
Lynn Gray, Countywide School Board.
Thank you, Lynn. Coming down, yes.
Tammy Chamberger, School Board, District 5.
Thank you, Jerry. Okay, thank you. Everybody, yes.
Susan Valdez, Hillsborough County Public School Board member and candidate for State House, District 62.
Thank you, Susan. Pat? Thank you, Pat. Okay, I'll get to the candidates there. Mark? Thank you, Mark. Soil and water is very important. I don't know what we do without soil and water. Okay, now we're going to come around and recognize candidates ready for office. I guess Guido will give you another shot if you want to stand up.
Guido Maniscalco, I am City Council member for District 6, but I'm also running for re-election.
All right. Yes.
Bill Person for School Board District 1. I have two guests, my lovely wife, Lori Rodriguez, a teacher, and my consultant, Al Fredericks.
Thank you, Bill.
Scott Hoddenstein, School Board candidate, District 6, countywide.
All right, on this one, Deborah, go ahead.
Deborah Belanti, Florida House, District 60, which is all of South Tampa, a little bit of Town and Country, all the way to Apollo Beach.
Thank you, Deborah. That table back there, yes. Go ahead, Adam.
Again, Adam Van here. I am a candidate for Hillsborough County Court Judge, Group 2.
Thank you, Adam.
Kimberly Overman, Hillsborough County, District 7.
Thank you, Ken. Ready up here, Sheila? Yes, ma'am.
Sky White, candidate for County Commissioner, District 7, nurse, community organizer.
Okay.
Elvis Biggett, Hillsborough County Commission, District 5, countywide.
John, get up.
Thank you, Victor. John Dingfelder, former city councilman. I'm running to return to City Council, Tampa District 3. Thank you.
And he's a very important man today, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Aakash, go ahead.
Aakash Patel, Hillsborough County Commission, District 7.
Joe?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joseph Citro, and I am your candidate for Tampa City Council, District 1, which is a citywide race.
Thank you, Joe. Oh, yes, Barry.
Mariella Smith, I'm running for Hillsborough County Commission, countywide, District 5.
Good. Ed?
Looking around here, I think I am the candidate.
Good to see Jenny here too. Joe?
Joe Costas, candidate for County Commission, District 5 at large.
Thank you, Joe. Yes.
Chris Paradise, District 2, Hillsborough County Commissioner.
Thank you. Everybody in here? No. Oh, yes, go ahead, man.
Todd Marks, up here, you're going to hear from you momentarily.
Okay. Ray?
Ray Chiaramonte, countywide, District 7.
Thank you, Ray. Mark?
Nash, running for the Board of County Commissioners in Hillsborough County, District 7, countywide.
Thank you, Mark. Joe, you're not running. Okay. Thank God. All right, so, Mark, go ahead. Stand up. You're running or you already won?
No, I'm not running.
Okay, good. Okay. You're still in charge of soil and water, so that's good. All right. I want to thank our broadcast partners, TPAE.net. They've been with us for a couple years now. And so those people that can't afford to take an hour off on Friday, once a month, the Tampa Bay Arts and Education Network, they've been our broadcast partners, and all of our programs can be seen online afterwards, after they air, anytime, 24/7. Thank you to the Garfield Committee, Mark Proctor, thank you, Aaron Abel, and our independent. Who's eating, right? Okay. Al McCray. So let's get on with the program. We've got a great show lined up for you guys today. Starting off, let's say, I'll put them in teams, and we'll do it alphabetically. For the Democrats, we'll have Ray Chiaramonte come on up and have a seat. Starting down there, we'll go this way. Ray, you're first up. Mark Nash for the Democrats. Come on up. Have a seat. Kimberly for the Democrats. Come on up. Have a seat. And Sky E. White, please come up and have a seat. For the Republicans, we have Todd Marks. Todd, come on up. Have a seat, Todd. And Aakash Patel. Aakash, please come up and have a seat. Now, before I forget, I failed to mention one more thing. We have 2 sponsors today, and I believe, Aakash, you're one of them. So, congratulations. Thanks for being a sponsor of Tiger Bay today. Thank you very much. And Mark Proctor, I believe you're a sponsor for today. Thank you for our sponsors. They pay for a lot of our expenses and help make this program possible. Thank you. All right. And I won't give you an introduction or anyone. We have printed out on your table a little bios of each candidate, so we won't waste any more of your time. But I will start now going around the audience. You have to be a Tiger Bay member. You live in, this is the most important person in this room today. Is this gentleman right here.
I agree.
He's our timekeeper. John Dingfellow, thank you so much. My other two timekeepers are somewhere. We're going to give them a minute to say hi, introduce themselves, and then we'll have a 30-second question, and then they'll have a minute to answer. We'll go up and down. That's the only way we're going to get out of here before midnight. So we'll start with Aakash, since you're in the end. Let's see if there's a mic. We'll go down this way. So Aakash, you'll be first up, and go ahead and introduce yourself. You have a minute. You can stand anywhere you want, and go ahead and give it a shot. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here in front of so many friends. My name is Aakash Patel. I've been in Tampa most of my life. I went away to Florida State to go Knowles any summers in my house. I came back to Tampa because this is home. I love this community. I got involved in the community, joined different organizations, chambers of commerce, and nonprofit boards, and I ended up starting a business. I started a business, and we now have 7 employees today. We work with companies that relocate their headquarters. Along the way, I've had the privilege of chairing the Early Learning Coalition of Hillsborough County the past 4 years, and I've helped eliminate the wait list for our VPK children. And while I was working with our county commission, I realized that the same commissioners continue to get elected and elected and elected. And so I decided when there was an open seat, I decided to run. So I filed for District 7, County Commission, open seat, countywide. And my website is patel2018.com. And I look forward to learning all about the questions today. Thank you.
Thank you, Aakash. Todd, you're next.
Thank you. John, go now. All right, good. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm Todd Marks. I'm a consistent conservative Republican. Been a Republican my entire adult life. Don't hold it against me in this crowd. But I'm a father of 3, thanks sir, and a business owner. I own West Chase Law and West Chase Title. And I help people for a living during difficult times in their life. And Mr. Busing and I have had cases together. They're challenging, but this is an opportunity to give back to the community. I like to see people succeed, and I believe that it takes a consistent conservative on the commission to help continue to have an environment to help individuals and businesses be successful. And I appreciate the opportunity to share some of my ideas today. And ToddMarks.com to provide more information about our candidacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Sky?
Hello, my name is Sky E. White, running for County Commissioner District 7. I work as a nurse full-time, but I'm also a local community organizer. I'm the founder and the program director of Reborn Tampa. We hold free civil rights classes. We hold classes on what to do when you get pulled over, free summer reading programs for underperforming 2nd and 3rd graders. I was just recently endorsed by the Democratic Progressive Caucus of Tampa Bay, as well as the Tampa Bay GSA. I'm hoping to learn more about what you guys have concerns about. My platform is affordable housing, job growth, diversity and inclusion, and I'm hoping that my work as an activist and as a nurse, I can definitely succeed on that.
Thank you, Sky. Kim?
Hi, I'm Kimberly Overman. I am a 34-year resident, raised two children in this community, and have a 20-year practice in financial planning as well as a co-working space. A career-long volunteer for various different government agencies, such as the Housing Finance Authority, the Citizens Advisory Committee to Budget and Finance for the City of Tampa, as well as current CAC member for the MPO, which is that organization that oversees and deals with our transportation-related issues. The good news is the volunteer work that I've done over the years, as well as the 34 years I've been here paying attention to issues, has prepared me for the job. And I think that's what most of us are looking for, is someone who actually is familiar with how our government works and how we can best serve our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim. Mark? So packed room, it must be we have an election coming up soon. Early voting ballots get mailed next week, so it's here, folks. My name is Mark Nash. I'm a Democrat running for the Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners. I grew up in this community. I grew up in the Brandon area in the 60s and 70s. Returned here in the late 90s with my career with the Gillette Company. I started getting involved in local politics, working on local campaigns, Kathy Castro's 2006 campaign. I was a key part of Kevin Beckner's historic win in 2008 and served as his aide for his first 18 months in office. I'm the only candidate, actually, who served on the Board of County Commission for a city commissioner. I've kind of done the job already. I am happy to be here. It's important that we vote. We have a real important opportunity and a great opportunity to change the direction of Hillsborough County. The last 20 years have not addressed the problems of this community, and I'm sure your questions today will help to allow you to understand some of the opinions of the candidates up here, and I look forward to sharing those with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ray, you're next.
Okay, I'm Ray Chiaramonte. My family's been here since 1906 when my grandfather came from Sicily. I was raised out in Riverview. When I was 10, my family moved to Chicago for 12 years. Couldn't wait to get back here after going through the first winter. Got back when I was 21, 1971. Exciting year. TIA opened Walt Disney World, and I saw Florida going in a great direction that I wanted to be part of. Went to work at the Planning Commission, went through the entire gamut of jobs there, going from a draftsman to ending up being the executive director of the agency in 2012. So I've worked with people in both parties, had to been apolitical pretty much all my life because of that job, but now I am a Democrat and I can say it out loud. So I'm running because I think I have the leadership and experience and knowledge of this whole community, especially the whole county, Hillsborough, with my experience, and I want to share that and use that to make this a better place in the future.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Now we're going to go around. I'm going to split it evenly between ladies and men. And I think we have our former president here. I have to refer to Mr. Adam Bettner. Adam, you have the floor.
Thank you, Vic. This is kind of a split question. For the Republicans up there, where do you think the county commission could maybe invest more dollars? And for the Democrats up there, where could they be maybe cut a little bit and be a little bit more fiscally responsible?
Good question. Thank you. We'll start. Who's got the Ray? Since you had the mic last, why don't we start here and go that way? All right, you got 1 minute. John?
Okay. I honestly am not sure that they can cut with the amount of growth that we have coming here, but we might be able to change how we spend money. I was a little disappointed in the Board of County Commissioners transportation initiative with the $800 million and having so little of that for transit. I think it should have been more balanced, and we need to face this issue. We're getting further behind. This is a major issue that I have, and to move forward. So that is the area I would shift funds maybe a little bit around if possible.
Mark, you're next. Sure. So where can Democrats save dollars? Having been inside, I'm kind of blown away by some of the exorbitant salaries that some of the people make in the county building. I believe we have we're top heavy. We have a lot of management that is still a part of the equation. We have more chiefs than we do Indians, if you will. And that's an opportunity to save dollars. But to Ray's point, and to I'm sure what most of you are thinking here, we have to invest in our future. We're no longer a county of several 100,000 people. We have 1.4 million. Projected to have 2 million here by 2030. We've got to invest in ourselves. We've got to invest in transportation. We have issues with our school system that we're going to have to face here with $1 billion bond issue that's due. Our infrastructure is embarrassing. We're not creating the community that's going to allow us or our children to succeed in the years and decades to come. We have to change our mentality. It's not about spending, it's about investing in our future. Thank you, Mark. Kim?
Actually, I somewhat agree with a lot of what you said, but I think it is critical that we actually look at the way the county operates with private enterprise and have a customer service approach to making sure that we're providing the services to allow our community to grow. As we mentioned earlier, transportation is a key issue. We are dragging down our economy by not investing in it. So prioritizing how we're utilizing those taxes, I think, is more critically important, but also recognizing when there is a cost to investing in our community by private enterprise, that we make sure that that cost is covered with the fees that are associated with it and using it as for that purpose. I think it's also critically important that we take a look at streamlining the services in our departments to make sure that we're not wasting efforts, not only among the employees, but more importantly, among the businesses that have to do business with the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim Sky. You're next.
I actually don't think that we should be cutting any services. We actually have not invested enough into the success of Hillsborough County. For example, we have wonderful schools here, University of South Florida, UT, HTC, and a phenomenal vocational program. I'm a graduate of Irwin Tech, that's where I became an LPN. And we have graduates that are leaving Hillsborough County at record pace, for one, because they can't find affordable housing, and for two, they feel that the income here is just stagnant. We want our graduates to stay here to help build the economy here. And in order for them to build the economy here, we have to offer them something. We have to invest into their future. Right now, I don't see where a cut would be feasible. We need to invest into the success of the residents here.
Thank you, Scott.
Adam, I see where you're going, wherever you went. I see where you're going with the question, but we don't have a budget problem per se, we have a spending problem. And so my first priority as what I would consider a fresh voice on the commission will be to look at opportunities. Waste, fraud, and abuse, I know is cliche, but there are redundancies in government that I believe we need to reprioritize. So if you've got spending more, yeah, we need to spend more on transportation, but the first opportunity shouldn't be raise taxes. If you have a business and you're tight on money, the first thing you don't necessarily do is go get a loan from your bank, right? You look at opportunities to save in your budget so that you're not going to stress the operation overall. So the first instinct should not be, gee, we need more money, raise taxes. We're taxed enough already in so many ways, and so my belief is that we need to hold the line on spending and regulation. Yes, we need to streamline. I believe we will save money in that process as well, and it will help private sector know how to rely on government better too. Thanks.
Thank you, Todd. Aakash?
Thank you. Yeah, great question, Adam. I think we need to invest in our workforce. So when I talked about early learning, we have the 0 through 4 children here. I see a lot of school board members here in the room. Early learning is where it starts. And in the year 2030, half of the professions we know won't exist. And as our county commission, we talk about all the time, we're gonna have 2 million residents here by 2030. So we need to invest and plan strategically. I'm a business, and we have a vision, mission, and goals, and statement, and a budget. We follow it, and we plan, and we review it. I don't think our county commission has reviewed it and stuck to it, and I don't think the community did it properly. So I agree with my opponent here. I don't want to raise taxes. I want to invest in early learning and spend and focus on education and talent retention. Thank you.
Thank you, Aakash. Hold on to the mic. We'll go backwards, starting with you on the next question. So stand up, identify yourself.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Strom, and I would like to give you a hypothetical situation. I own land that's zoned for agriculture outside the urban service boundary, but I'd really like to build houses on it. And I come to the county commission saying I'd like you to change the zoning so that I can now build suburban style homes on this agriculturally zoned land. And so what is your response to me?
Okay, I guess we'll give it a shot. In the county, they have a process called a hearing master. You go to the hearing master first. It does. They have to. They have to. That's true. I don't mean to interject, but go ahead. You go ahead and Aakash, give it a shot.
Thank you for the question. I mentioned earlier in a business and in a vision. In a business, you have a written out career plan. So one of the things I would want to see as a commissioner, in order to vote for this change, is what are your 1, your 3, your 5-year goals, and why do you need this change, and what the projection is. Because if you're going to come to the commission and ask for this change, there's going to be precedent set. And so I would want to see what your mission is. Thank you.
I spent some time on the Land Use Appeals Board. I own a title company. I understand property rights and free marketplace. But at the same time, I respect the community plans and the urban service area. I believe that the focus should be on making that more dense. While I do have the real world opinion that we have exceptions in certain opportunities, I would have to see what the plan is, how close it is to the urban service area, what existing infrastructure exists and what the plan is in terms of any public-private partnership monies